திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். புழியர்கோன் வெப்பொழித்த புகழியர்கோன் கடல் போற்றி, ஆழிமிசை கல்மிதப்பில் அணைந்த பிரான் அடி போற்றி, வாழி திரு நாவலூர் வன்றொண்டர் பதம் போற்றி, ஊழிமலி திருவாத ஊரர் திருத்தாள் போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். So today we are continuing our discussion of Sundarar Thevaram, padhigam 7.48. Last time we had we had seen the two Periya Puranam verses and we had seen the first song of this padhigam. Now we are continuing from verse number 2. So Chakravarti, you can read the second verse with me.
Sure.
iṭṭan unnadi
iṭṭan unnadi
ēttuvār igaḻndiṭṭa nāl
eṇḍru-alāl
maṛandiṭṭa nāl keṭṭa nāl இவை eṇḍru-alāl கருதேன் kiḷar-punal காவிரி kiḻar-punal காவிரி வட்ட வாசிகை கொண்டு அடி தொழுது ஏத்து பாண்டிக்கொடுமுடி நட்டவா உனை நான் மறக்கினும் சொல்லும் நமச்சிவாயவே. Good. So in this padhigam, the theme is that in every song, Sundarar is saying, "O Shiva, even if I were to forget you, my tongue will automatically chant your name, namasivāya. Because my tongue is so used to saying it, even if I don't remember to say it, it will automatically say it." That's a kind of, that becomes, he says, I am so much immersed in that and my tongue is so practiced to saying it, I don't have to think, it will say on its own. And then, in every song, he is describing several things. One, he will describe about his situation, and another part is that he will describe the sthalam, Kodumudi. And then he will complete by saying that, "O Shiva, in that sthalam, my tongue will automatically say your name." So in this song, there are several phrases. The first part, iṭṭan unnadi ēttuvār igaḻndiṭṭa nāl maṛandiṭṭa nāl keṭṭa nāl ivai eṇḍru-alāl karudēn, is making a statement. The days when he is despised by other devotees, the days when he forgets to worship, that he will not consider it as anything except bad days. Right? Sometimes we are having too much fun and we forget to worship. As an example, right? If you are on vacation, right? You are on a Florida beach or you are on a Mexico beach or wherever, right? You are on vacation. You are enjoying, so you don't think about Shiva, you don't think about worship, anything. So we say, I was having too much fun to remember to worship. But what Sundarar is saying is that if I don't worship you on any day, I don't treat that day as a good day. So now we look at the words. iṭṭan unnadi ēttuvār igaḻndiṭṭa nāl. iṭṭan is ishtaha. In Sanskritam it's ishtaha. In Tamil it comes as iṭṭan. Ishtam is desire. And ishtaha or iṭṭan means one who is lovable, likable, desirable, that kind of a person. Shiva is the one who has to be, who is likable, who is desired by everybody. Ishtaha, ishtam. iṭṭan, O Shiva, who is liked by everybody or who is loved by everybody. That your adi ēttuvār, adi ēttuvār. Adi ēttuvār is those who worship your feet. Ēttuvār is to do stuti. Un is your, adi is feet, padam. So, un adi ēttuvār, your feet, those who worship. So, those who worship your feet, they, igaḻndiṭṭa. Igaļdal is to speak disparagingly. Igaļdal is also to reject. So, those devotees who reproach me, right? Because, I forget you, so they reproach me. So, this we can remember when we talked about the 7.39, for example, in Tiruvallur, Sundarar was going to the temple, and as he was walking into the temple, there were a bunch of devotees who were assembled there, and Sundarar did not pay respects to them. He just was lost in thought or whatever. He walked, ignoring them, straight into the temple. So the Viranminder, who was one of the devotees in that gathering, he got so angry with Sundarar. He said, what kind of a devotee is he? He doesn't know how to show respect to other devotees. He should be ashamed of himself to call himself a devotee, blah, blah, blah. So he was very angrily denouncing Sundarar. And of course, Sundarar realizes that, and then he requests Shiva how to placate them, and then Shiva says, go sing their glory. That is the background of how Sundarar came to sing 7.39. Tillaivar andanarada madiyarku madiyen. So, he is referring to those kind of things. When the other devotees were speaking poorly of Sundarar, because he was not being a good devotee. So, what caused them to say such things? Because Sundarar was not worshipping Shiva in that way. So, un adi ēttuvār igaḻndiṭṭa. Those who worship your holy feet, when they spoke badly of me, or when they speak badly of me, and the cause for that is un adi maṛandiṭṭa. Because I forgot your holy feet on some days. Because, he was lost in whatever, and he forgot to worship Shiva's feet. So that's what he's saying. Because I forget to worship you, I forget to respect your devotees. Because of that, your devotees were speaking poorly of me. All such days. Keṭṭa nāl ivai. All those days, I treat them as keṭṭa nāl. Nāl is a day, keṭṭa is bad. So, I consider them as bad days. eṇḍru-alāl, karudhen. I don't treat them as anything except bad days. So, the whole phrase, what does it mean? Iṭṭan unnadi ēttuvār igaḻndiṭṭa maṛandiṭṭa keṭṭa ive eṇḍru-alāl karudhen. O Shiva, those who worship your holy feet, on those days when they denounced me, on those days when I forget to worship your holy feet, I don't treat those days as anything except bad days. That is the meaning of the whole phrase. kiḷar-punal kaviri vatta vasigai kondu adidoldu ēttuvāṇdikkodumudi nattava. That is the whole phrase describing O Shiva in Pandikkodumudi. Kodumudi, Pandikkodumudi is the name of the Salam. And as I mentioned in the last session, it is on the banks of Kaveri river. And if you looked at the Google map link I had sent, you will see that the Kaveri river is very broad in that place, and the temple is very close to the river bank. So, some Sundarar is saying the Kaveri is worshipping our holy feet with garlands. And in India, in the holy rivers, people do puja, and then they will put flowers and garlands, everything will be there, and the river will be bringing it downstream. So upstream, they would have had pujas, and garlands will be coming in the river. And Sundarar looks at this Kaveri river with garlands floating on it, and he sees that as Kaveri river worshipping Shiva's holy feet with garlands. Because Kaveri river comes so close to the paṇḍikkodumudi temple. So that's what is describing here. kiḷar-punal Kaveri. Kaveri is the name of the river, Kaveri. It's often called Kaveri in English. Kannada also they call it Kaveri. But in Tamil it is called Kaveri, but properly in Tamil, in literary Tamil it's always called Kaveri. And there is a legend for that. If you know we have legends for many things, and for the Kaveri river origin, there is a legend that Agastya was bringing the Kaveri river in his kamandalam, and then he was being sitting in some in the Western Ghats, and he was doing some prayers, and then Ganesha comes as a crow and flips the kamandalam, and then Kaveri river starts flowing from that. So Kaveri, that's one of the legends that they describe for the name Kaveri. But regardless of that, Kaveri is the name used in literature for the Kaveri river. So kiḷar-punal Kaveri. Kiḻar is plenty, punal is water. Or kiḻar can also mean rising. So there's a plenty of water in Kaveri river. So that's what it means. kiḻar-punal Kaveri. The Kaveri river with plenty of water. That Kaveri river, vatta vasigai kondu adi toldu ettu. Vatta vasigai. Vasigai means garland. Vatta means circular. So vatta vasigai is circular garlands. Kondu, with those garlands. Adi toldu ettu. Adi is holy feet. Toldu is worship. Ettu is also stuti or worship. So vatta vasigai kondu adi toldu ettu. The Kaveri river with circular garlands is worshipping the lotus feet of Shiva. That paṇḍikkodumudi. In that paṇḍikkodumudi, Nattava. Nattavan is the one who is attached to, one who likes, one who is friends with. So, paṇḍikkodumudi Nattava, the Nattavan means Shiva who loves to dwell in paṇḍikkodumudi is one way of interpreting the word Nattava. Another way of interpreting is Shiva who is a friend. As we know, Shiva gave himself as friend to Sundarar. So that's why he's called the one Tondar, and he is also known as Shiva's friend. In Sundarar, he will with a lot of freedom he will ask Shiva various things. I don't know whether you have seen any of those padigams, but there are several padigams in which Sundarar says, hey, if you don't give, I don't care, that kind of thing. So Shiva and Sundarar, they have this bond, right? They have this Sundarar plays tricks on Shiva, Shiva plays tricks on Sundarar. That kind of friendly banter they will have. Anyway, so the Nattavan is friend. So he is looking at Shiva as his friend. That is also appropriate. So the gist of the phrase, kiḻar-punal Kaveri vatta vasigai kondu adi toldu ettu paṇḍikkodumudi Nattava. O friend, in paṇḍikkodumudi, where the Kaveri river worships the lotus feet with circular garlands. That Shiva, O Shiva, unai naan marakkinum. Unai is you, naan is I, marakkinum is if forget. So even if I were to forget you, that means even if I were to forget to worship you, sollum na namasivāya. Sollum is it will say, na is tongue, namasivāya. My tongue will say namasivāya. So what does it mean? Unai naan marakkinum sollum na namasivāya. Even if I were to forget you, my tongue will automatically say your holy name, namasivāya. So just as when there are days, if there is a day when devotees disparage me, if there is a day when I forget to worship you, I don't treat that as anything except a very, very bad day. And O Shiva in paṇḍikkodumudi, worshipped by the Kaveri river, Even if I were to forget you, my tongue will say your holy name. That is a summary of the song. So, Chakravarti, you can read the whole verse again.
Sure. iṭṭan un adi ēttuvār igaḻndiṭṭanāl maṛandiṭṭanāl keṭṭanāl ivai eṇḍru-alāl kallen kiḷar-punal காவேரி வட்டவாசிகளை கொண்டு அடி தொழுது ēttuvāṇdikkodumudi நட்டவா உனை நான் மறக்கினும் சொல்லுனா நமச்சிவாயவே.
Good. So now we move to the third verse. Atmarama, you can repeat with me.
Okay.
ஓவும் நாள்
ஓவும் நாள்
உணர்வு அழியும் நாள்
உணர்வு அழியும் நாள்
உயிர் போகும் நாள்
உயிர் போகும் நாள்
உயர் பாடை மேல்
உயர் பாடை மேல்
காவும் நாள்
காவும் நாள்
இவை eṇḍru-alāl
இவை eṇḍru-alāl
கருதேன்
கருதேன்
கிளர்-புனல் காவிரி
கிளர்-புனல் காவிரி
பாவு தண்புனல்
பாவு தண்புனல்
வந்து இழி
வந்து இழி
பரஞ்சோதி
பரஞ்சோதி
பாண்டிக்கொடுமுடி
பாண்டிக்கொடுமுடி
நாவலா
நாவலா
உனை நான் மறக்கினும்
உனை நான் மறக்கினும்
சொல்லும் நா நமச்சிவாயவே.
சொல்லும் நா நமச்சிவாயவே.
Good. So the theme in the third song is very similar to the theme in the second song. The days when I forget you, I don't treat the day as a day in which I lived. That's the gist of this song. ஓவும் நாள். ஓவுதல் means to forget, to cease, to, so we forget, right? The day when we don't worship, the day when we forget to worship, that is called ஓவும் நாள். Those days, right? The day when I forget to worship you, those days, what do we consider those days as? உணர்வு அழியும் நாள். Unarva is our consciousness, right? When we are unconscious, we don't know what we are doing, we don't know what happened. So we do consciously certain things, but if you are not conscious, we are like, we are not able to do anything. So that kind of thing, when I had lost my consciousness. Unarva is consciousness. It can also mean feeling, it can also mean knowledge and many other things. But in the gist, you can say, when I was not aware of myself, when I was not conscious. Unarvu azhiyum naal. Azhidal is to be destroyed, to be without. So unarvu azhiyum naal is the days when I was not conscious. Uyir pogum naal. Uyir is life. The life that we have in our body, that life. Pāḍal is to go. Naal is the day. So, uyir pogum naal is the day when we are dead. Or the day of death. Uyir pogum naal. So, it's a day when I was dead. That's how we sing. The day when I forget to worship you, I treat the day as the day when I was not conscious, the day when I was dead. Uyar padai mel kavum naal. So when we are dead in India, traditionally they will build a bier with coconut tree fronds, and people will carry you to the cremation ground. So that bier is called the padai. Uyar padai mel kavum naal. Kavudal is to be carried. So I treat the day when I forget to worship you as the day when I am being carried on a bier. that kind of a feeling I get about those days. So, just as the day when I forgot to worship you, I treat the day as a day when I was dead. That's a summary. eṇḍru-alāl karudhen. I don't treat it as any other day except such a day. kiḷar-punal kaviri pāvu tān-punal vandu izhi paranjodi paṇḍikkodumudi navala. It's a long phrase. Again, he is saying, O Shiva dwelling in Paṇḍikkodumudi on the banks of big Kaveri river. kiḷar-punal Kaveri came in the previous song also. Kaveri with plenty of water. Pāvu tān-punal. Pāvu is to spread out. Tān is cool. Punal is water. So, the Kaveri river with plenty of water, its cool, spread out waters flow through Paṇḍikkodumudi. So, if you see the map, you will see that the Kaveri river is very, very wide in this place, and it flows north, south, and then makes a turn to east here. So, that is where the Paṇḍikkodumudi temple is. So, you can see that, and it's a big, broad river on that place. That's what is describing. Pāvu tān-punal means wide, cool waters. Vandu izhi. Irizal is to flow. So the Kaveri river's cool waters flow through the Paṇḍikkodumudi. Vandu izhi paranjodi paṇḍikkodumudi navala. So the Paṇḍikkodumudi, the paranjodi you take it after Paṇḍikkodumudi. Pāvu tān-punal vandu izhi paṇḍikkodumudi. In that Paṇḍikkodumudi place, Salam, Paranjodi, O ultimate Jyoti who is dwelling in that Paṇḍikkodumudi. Navala. Na is tongue. Valan is one who is capable. Navalan is one who is capable, one who is master of speech kind of thing. And here he calls Shiva as Navalan because he chanted the Vedas, right? Our tradition is that the Vedas were sung by Shiva initially. That's how it came to us. And also, he is the one who seated under the banyan tree and explaining the Vedas to the 4 rishis. So, he is considered a Navalan, who is that kind of phrase is used in several tēvāram songs. So, O Navala, O chanter of the Vedas, O singer of the Vedas, Unai nan marakkinum. Even if I were to forget you, Sollum na namasivāya. My tongue will speak your holy name, will automatically recite your holy name. So just the days when I forgot to worship you, I treat the day as a day when I was not living, the day I was dead, the day I was being carried to the cremation ground. O Shiva dwelling in Paṇḍikkodumudi, O ultimate Jyoti in Paṇḍikkodumudi, the Paṇḍikkodumudi where the big wide expanse of Kaveri river flows through. O Shiva, O reciter of Vedas, even if I were to forget you, my tongue will automatically say your holy name, namasivāya. So, can you repeat read the whole verse, Asmanama?
Yes. ஓவும் நாள், உணர்வு அடையும் நாள், உயிர் போகும் நாள், உயிர்ப்படை மேல் காவும் நாள், இவை eṇḍru-alāl கருதேன், kiḷar-punal காவிரி, pāvu tān-punal vandu izhi paranjodi paṇḍikkodumudi navala, உன்னை நான் மறக்கினும் சொல்லும் namasivāya.
Good. So now we move on to the 4th song. Madhuri, you can read with me.
Sure.
எல்லையில் புகழ்
எல்லையில் புகழ்
எம்பிரான்
எம்பிரான்
எந்தை தம்பிரான்
எந்தை தம்பிரான்
என் பொன் மாமணி
மாமணி
கல்லை உந்தி
கல்லை உந்தி
வளம் பொழிந்து
வளம் பொழிந்து
இழி காவிரி
காவிரி
அதன் வாய்க்கரை
அதன் வாய்க்கரை
நல்லவர் தொழுது ஏத்தும் சீர்கரையூரில்
பாண்டிக்கொடுமுடி
வல்லவா உனை நான் மறக்கினும் சொல்லும் நா நமச்சிவாயவே. Good. So in this song, Sundarar is describing Shiva's glory and how he cherishes him, and then he describes the Kaveri river that flows through the place, and then he describes the place as a place where good people worship Shiva, and says, "Oh Shiva, in that Kodumudi, even if you were to forget you, my tongue will say your name automatically." So there are several small phrases in this. In the first line, Yellayil pugal embiran. Empiran. Piran means Lord. Embiran means our Lord. Yellayil pugal embiran. Yellay is limit. Il is without. Pugal is glory. So Yellayil pugal means glory without limit, or limitless glory. Embiran, our Lord. O our Lord with infinite glory. That's the meaning of that. Ellayil pugal embiran. O Lord with infinite glory. Lord having infinite glory. Endai Tambiran. Endai is our Father. Tambiran is his Lord. So Endai Tambiran is the Lord of our Father. That means what Sundar is saying is that I am not only your devotee, but in my family, traditionally we are all Shiva devotees. You know, my father is a devotee, my grandfather is a devotee, that kind of, I come from such a lineage. So, Endai Tambiran, you are the Lord of my father too. En Pon means, Pon is gold. En Pon is my gold. That means, you know, when we cherish somebody, we say, no, you are my gem, you are my darling, you are my, that kind of thing, right? So, En Pon, you are my gold. Ma Mani is Ratnam or gems. Ma is beautiful, great, big, all those things. So, you are the great gem. So, the first line is addressing Shiva with different adjectives. Yellayil pugal embiran, O our Lord with infinite glory, O Lord of my Father, O my gold, O my gem, that kind of a thing. So it's addressing Shiva with all those phrases. Then he is saying, O Shiva dwelling in Kodumudi. Now, in order to say that, he puts descriptions for Kodumudi. You know, that you will see that in many tēvāram songs, they will describe the sthalam with natural beauty. You know, they will talk about the people in their place, they will talk about the natural beauty, they will talk about the hills, they will talk about the wind, they will talk about the gardens, they will talk about the river, farms, everything. So, here is again saying that Kodumudi temple is on the banks of Kaveri river. And that Kaveri river is coming from the hills and it is bringing gems. Kallai undi valam பொழிந்து இழி காவிரி அதன் வாய்க்கரை. So the Kaveri river is bringing a lot of things. Kallai undi. Kall is stone. So when you say undu is to push, Kallai undi is pushing stones. Here it means that, you know, you can say, you know, it is pushing rocks. Okay, but that is not a great explanation, because next line is valam பொழிதல். So it is bringing riches from the hills. That's how they will typically describe the rivers. So Kallai undi is, it is bringing gemstones. That's how we have to interpret. Kallai undi. Valam பொழிந்து. Valam is riches, and it brings a lot of riches. That means the river, because it has got plenty of water, one way of saying is that it brings riches from the hills, and of course the water is very rich because that's what raises the crops in the land. So it brings wealth to the people, it brings riches to the people, it enriches the land. So kallai undi valam பொழிந்து. பொழிதல் is to shower, to pour. So it is pouring wealth. Idi is to flow. So the Kaveri river is flowing, bringing gemstones and showering wealth on this land. That Kaveri, adan Vaikkarai. So Vaikkarai, you have to flip the word Vai and Karai. Adan Karai Vai. Kaveri adan Karai Vai means on the banks of Kaveri river. Karai is bank of a river, right? When you have a tank or a river, you have a bank. So the banks are called Karai. So on the banks of Kaveri river is this place, Karayur. Karayur is the name of the place, town. Kodumudi is the name of the temple. I think I have mentioned this in other padigams too. There are some padigams where you will see the temple has a name and a place has a name, and over a period of time the temple name becomes the name of the place itself. So Karayur was the old name of the place, and Kodumudi was the name of the temple. Over centuries, many centuries, the names have changed and the Karayur name is no longer used, and today people refer to that place as Kodumudi. So, but in Sundarar's time, that place was called Karayur. So he is saying the Karayur that is situated on the banks of Kaveri river, and that is where the Kodumudi temple is, Kodumudi, and this temple is worshipped by good people. Nallavar toldu ettum seer. Seer means goodness, fame, glory, etc. Nallavar toldu ettum. Nallavar is good people. Toldu ettum, they worship and they sing their glory and worship. Right? Toldu ettu is, you can treat them as two words with a subtle difference in meaning. Toludal is to worship with folded hands. Ēttuvār is to sing the glory. So Toludal is with folded hands. Ēttuvār is to chant the glory, sing the songs, etc. So Nallavar, so the good people worship and sing your glory in the Karayur Kodumudi temple. So in that Kodumudi temple is Shiva, Vallava. O Vallava in Kodumudi temple. Vallavan, Valla is to be capable of. So Vallavan means one who is capable. Because Shiva is omnipotent. He is capable of everything. He is capable of doing anything. So he is referred to as Vallavan. So O omnipotent Shiva dwelling in Kodumudi temple in Karayur, which is on the banks of Kaveri river, where good people worship you. That Shiva, O Shiva, unai naan marakkinum, even if I were to forget you, sollum na namasivāyave, my tongue will automatically sing your glory. So that is the gist of this fourth song. So Madhuri, you can read the whole verse again.
Ellai il pugal embiran, endai tambiran, en pon mamani, kallai undi valam polindu, ili kavari adan vaikkarai, nallavar toludu ettum sirkkarai yuril, Kodumudi, Vallava, unai naan marikkinum sollum na namasivāyave.
Good. So we'll see one more song and then we can conclude today's session. So Chakravarti, you can read the fifth verse with me.
Sure.
அஞ்சினார்க்கு
அஞ்சினார்க்கு
அரண் ஆதி என்று
அரண் ஆதி என்று
அடியேனும்
அடியேனும்
நான் மிக அஞ்சினேன்.
நான் மிக அஞ்சினேன்.
அஞ்சல் என்று
அஞ்சல் என்று
அடித்தொண்டனேற்கு
அடித்தொண்டனேற்கு
அருள் நல்கினாய்க்கு
அருள் நல்கினாய்க்கு
அழிகின்றது என்.
அழிகின்றது என்.
பஞ்சின் மெல்லடி
பஞ்சின் மெல் அடி
பாவைமார்
பாவைமார்
குடைந்தாடு
குடைந்தாடு
பாண்டிக்கொடுமுடி
ஆண்டிக்கொடுமுடி
நஞ்சு அணி கண்ட
நஞ்சு அணி கண்ட
நான் மறக்கினும்
நான் மறக்கினும்
சொல்லும் நமச்சிவாயவே.
சொல்லும் நமச்சிவாயவே.
So good. In the fifth verse is basically describing that he surrendered to Shiva and then Shiva saved him. That is the gist of the first two lines. And the next two lines says, the Kodumudi and the banks of Kaveri River, O Nilakanta, even if I were to forget you, my tongue will say your name. So the first two lines is talking of his surrender to Shiva, and that Shiva saved him. So we will look at the words now. Anjinarku aran adi. Anjudal is to be afraid of, to be fearful. Anjudal. Acham is fear. Anjudal is to be fearful, to be afraid. Anjinarku, to those who are afraid. Aran. Aran is protection. Adi. Adi is Shiva. The Shiva who is the primordial one. Adi. So, the primordial Shiva, you are the savior of those who are afraid. You are the savior of the frightened. Because we are all afraid of many things, right? As humans, we are there are many things that we are afraid of. If you are in school, you are always worried about will I get the college I want? Will I get the branch I want? And once you finish college, you will say, will I get a job in this company, or will I get a good job? And then, once you are there, then you say, will I get the right kind of person to marry? Then you have kids, and then, will they grow up to be good kids? And then you have jobs, and then you get layoffs, then you will say, will I get the next job? So, in life, there is always fear of something or other. And of course, as you grow older, then the old age is the biggest fear. So, there is always fear in our human life. And so people are always afraid, and then beyond that, of course, then we die, and then we get another birth. We don't know what other birth we will get, so we are always afraid. So for those who are afraid of these things, who can help us, who can save us, who can protect us? That is Shiva. That is what he is saying. Ajinarku aran adi. Aran is like a protection, like the kavacham. So once you are surrendered to Shiva, then you are saved. Then you don't have to worry about anything. That's what he is saying. Anjinarku aran adi. Endru, realizing that, thinking that, realizing that, endru, adiyenum nan miga anjinen. Adiyen is I, your devotee. Adiyenum, even I, even the I, nan miga anjinen. I was very, very much afraid of many things. So, what did I do? I surrendered to you. I worshipped you. And then what did you do? Anjal endru adi tondinerku arul nalginai. Anjal means abhayam. Anjal is a Tamil word for abhayam. And in many stutis you will see this word, abhayam. So, you gave me protection. Anjal. don't worry என்று அடித்தொண்டையினருக்கு அருள் அளிக்கிறாய். You bestowed your grace on your lowly servant. அடித்தொண்டன், தொண்டன் is servant, அடித்தொண்டன் is the lowest level of தொண்டன். So your servant, me, you bestowed your grace and said, don't worry, don't be afraid, I am here to save you. So you did that. அருள் அல்கினாய், அருள் அல்கினாய்க்கு அழிகின்றது ஏன்? So you gave that protection to me, but did you lose anything by that? No, because you are an infinite ocean of mercy. So you saved me, but there is no change because of that, right? If somebody comes to us for help, just as an example, right? If somebody says, I need whatever, $10,000, and you say, okay, I will help you, I will give him $10,000. So what happens? Now he has the $10,000, but in my account I have less than I have money, but now it is less by $10,000 because I have given that to him. So in our human transactions, when you do something, it has an effect on us, but in Shiva's case, no effect, because he is an infinite ocean of mercy. By saving me, he loses nothing. He is such an infinite ocean, so he loses nothing. That's what Adigandradian, you lose nothing. Such a infinite Lord he is. Then Panjin Melody Pavimar Kodaindada Pandikkodumudi is a description of the Stalam. Pandikkodumudi is a Stalam, and we have seen in the previous songs that there is a Kaveri river flowing through the town. And when the river flows through the town, you have people, there will be places where people go bathe in the river, those kind of things, right? So in the river, a lot of people are bathing, and that's what he's saying. Panjin Melody Pavaimar Kodaindadu Pandikkodumudi means he's saying young girls are swimming in the river. Pavai is word for girl, young women, girls, etc. Pavaimar is plural, women or girls. Kodaindadu Pandikkodumudi. Kodaindadudal means to swim in the river. Swim in the lake, swim in the temple tank, swim in the river. That is called Kodaindadudal. Adudal is a dance generally, but Adudal also means bathing, and Kodaindadudal means to swim in the waters. We have seen that in Thiruvambavai 8.7 padigam, where we have seen Kodaindadu. That phrase comes in Thiruvambavai. And these women or these girls is having a descriptive phrase that Panjin Melody Pavaimar. Panji means cotton. Melody. Mel is soft, adi is feet. So the girls have very soft feet, tender feet. That is like soft cotton. Now when you say cotton, we are not talking of the cotton that is a woven cloth. It is the cotton that grows on the plant, right? That is very soft, fluffy. So like that fluffy cotton, the girls' feet are very tender and soft. That kind of girls, they are all bathing in the Kaveri river, swimming in the Kaveri river, enjoying themselves. That kind of a Kodumudi. In that Kodumudi is Shiva, and he is Nilakanta. He ate the poison and kept it in his throat. Nanju ani kanda. Nanju is poison. Ani is to wear. Kanda is okanta, one who with the throat. So Nanju ani kanta means, Nanju ani kanda means Nilakanta. Nilakanta is the meaning of that phrase. Nanju ani kanda. O Nilakanta. Nan marakkinum. Even if you were to forget, sollum na namasivāyave. My tongue will automatically say your name. So justice, I was afraid and I surrendered to you and you saved me. O Nilakanta in Kodumudi, Even if I were to forget you, my tongue will automatically say your holy name. Chakravarti, you can read the whole verse again.
Sure. Anjinararku aran adi endru adiyenu naan miga anjineen anjal endru adi todanerku tondanerku sorry tondanerku arul nalgi nayakku aligindradu en பஞ்சின் மேல் அடி பவைமார் குடைந்தாடு பாண்டிக் கொடுமுடி நஞ்சு அணி கண்ட நான் மறக்கினும் சொல்லுனா நமச்சிவாயவே.
Good. So what I was saying was that we can conclude today's discussion with this verse and meet next week and continue remaining songs of this padigam. But before we close the call, are there any questions, comments, anything that you want to ask regarding the verses we have seen today? If you are on mute, you can unmute and ask or speak. Okay, if not,
no,
we'll close. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think similar to other things which I've seen here, I think for every verse, there is a one, that rhyme. I think every verse, I think every line there's a rhyming, right? maṭrup, paṭrum,
Correct. Correct. So that is the line. As I said, in South Indian languages, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannadam, and all that, the rhyming is in the line beginning, and the line beginning rhyme is, even though it is not mandated, but it is practically mandatory. So so for all practical purposes, beginning line beginning rhyme is a must. So in all tēvāram songs, you will have line beginning rhymes, and in fact, in all poetry, you will find them. So very, very, exceptional songs will not have line beginning rhymes, and they will be, 0.00001% kind of thing. They are very special.
Yes, yeah.
So like the fifth one, Anjinar, Anjal, Panju, Nanju, that kind of a rhyming will be there. And like the fourth one, Yellai, Kallai, Nalla, Valla, that kind of a rhyming will be there. That's one thing you will notice. And in many tēvāram padigams, there will be a refrain that will come in every song, essentially. Like in this padigam, as you can see, every song will end with the phrase, Unai naan marakkinum sollum na namachivaayave. That will come in the end of every song. So in Carnatic music, they call it pallavi. Right? In Carnatic music, if you remember the kriti structure, there will be a pallavi. There may or may not be an anupallavi, and there will be charanams. There will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 charanams, whatever, depending on the composition. And what they do is that at the end of every charanam, they repeat the pallavi. So, in a sense, you can think of this in tēvāram padigams, that repeating pattern at the end of the song is like the pallavi of the modern Carnatic music songs. Unai naan marakkinum sollum na namachivaayave. That will come in every song.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Also, the way he's referring to Shiva in everything, first he says Natrava, Nattava, Navalas. That's quite nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, in Tamil poetry, especially in tēvāram, you will find that there's a alankaram called monai. In Telugu, it's called yati, or in English, we can call it alliteration. And there is usually the line beginning sound will repeat, or will be another sound in the middle of the line somewhere aligned with that line beginning sound. So you can see that in the first line, if you look at the fifth song, Ajinarke, it starts with A. So you will find that A will come several times in the line. Anjinaru Karan Adi Endru Adiyenum Nanmiga Anjineen. A will come in the beginning of many words. Similarly, second line, Anjal Endru Adittondenerku Arul Nalginaikku Azhigindrathiyan. A will come. In the third line, you will see Panjin Melody, Pavaimar, Paṇḍikkodumudi. Pa will come. Like that, the fourth line, Namasivāya comes in the end, so many of them will start with the word Na. Navala, Nan Marakinum, Namasivāyave. Nattava, Nan Marakinum, Namasivāyave. That kind of thing. Na will come. So, but again, that's a poetry approach. And that is what adds beauty to the song and makes it more melodious and more memorable, easy to memorize and all. Good? Any other comments? Okay, if not, we will close the call here today and then we will meet again next week and continue the remaining songs. Tiruchitrambalam.